Three of my new favorite words are energy, effort, and intention. I used to often say, and I still do, but I would say the 3 A's, right? When we talk about the foundational levels, the fondness and the admiration. The 3 A's: appreciation, admiration, and affection. Those are all important. Appreciation, probably the most. But all of those also take effort, energy, and intention. And I feel like that's kind of been missing in what I have said to clients for a few years. I mean, I've been saying this more and more regularly, is that if we're not putting any effort into this relationship, if we're not putting any of our own energy into making things happen, and if we're not doing these things with any level of intention or intentionality, then we very, very frequently end up in roommate syndrome. Because you don't have to do a lot of work to be a roommate. You got to pay the bills, right? You got to do your chores. You got to, right? So in the case of a marriage, it's, you have to pick up the kids or watch the kids or, do a load of laundry or depending on the roles, maybe someone stays home and someone works, so someone brings home the paycheck and someone does more of the housework. But that's not putting any energy into the actual relationship. It is putting all of the energy into the adulting and the logistics and the roommate part of the relationship. And we're doing so with zero intentionality. We're just doing it because we don't know what else to do, which very much is marriage. It's like you think we would have a lot of intentionality, like you write vows, we're gonna do this, but really there's not. A lot of it's just words. We don't know why we're doing the things that we're doing. We often don't know why we're getting married. We might be getting married because especially as a woman, you hit a 30-ish age range. And dear God, if you don't at least have a man lined up for that role, well then shit. You might as well go sit in the old lady home now. That's the messaging that is out to women from the fucking time they're children. So of course there's no intentionality. It is a fucking rush to not be the old lady in the nursing home. And if you don't have children, not only in the doctor's office do they say that you're geriatric, that's the actual diagnosis, then there are actual biological things that do start to not work as well when you try to have children older. But it is such a placed on you fear that at 15, you're freaking out about finding the one and having children in time. So if that becomes the intention, I gotta find someone so I don't end up in the old lady nursing home. And so that's already setting us up for kind of shit town. And then we start getting into the relationship and we're like, okay, well, all right, now we're here. Okay, we got a dog. If we're doing all these things, which a lot of us don't even do anyway, but okay, maybe we bought the house. Okay, then we get the dog. Okay, now every time we go to any family function, somebody's asking us when we're going to have kids. We might not even want kids right now. It might not really work for us right now. But you know what? We might end up having them because other people are telling us we should, or all of our friends are having kids, or our sisters are having kids. So we must have kids all together because that's what I've always dreamed about. Forget if it actually works for me in my relationship right now. But in my mind, that has been my dream. So that's why. Well, it's just what I've always wanted. And how could you not give this to me? Will often then be the language that's used. So on and on and on, I can tell you decisions I watch people make on the regular have zero intentionality. I have couples who are on the brink of divorce, who literally want to get divorced, who say out loud they really don't want to be together, yet will start a $500,000 remodel knowing the marriage is, and it might be, well, once we do the remodel, then everything will be better. No, it's not better. And now you have put yourself into a financial situation where not being married doesn't really make financial sense. Or we've just thrown a bunch of money away because now we have to turn around, sell the house, go divide it in two. Or I've had couples that are, again, brink of divorce, did not manage that transition into parenthood very well for various reasons, no fault, no judgment, but will then say, but I still want to have a second child and I would like to have one soon because so-and-so is almost 2. And, I really need to have him in that 2-year age gap. And I'm like, we just spent 45 minutes talking about the most god-awful fight full of contempt. And you think of having another baby's and I have to sit here and be like, oh, okay. And not be a total asshole, but I want to be like, are you for real? And honestly, sometimes I say that kind of stuff. But are you for real? Why the fuck would you do that? It's because of the dream, because I want to have 2 kids and I want to have them 2 years apart. Because that's what everyone does when they're longer. Have you and your partner literally talked to each other in the last month? Do you love the way that your Do you love the way that your partner parents? Do you love the way that your partner partners? Do you think that is going to change? If the answer is no, I should say, do you think that's automatically going to get better? Adding yet another stressor. How did it go the first time around? And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to help people think with intention. Those things can actually still be a reality. They might not be in the timeline that you initially set out for yourself and then are not budging or allowing for flexibility because life is life. We dream of this end of the, at the end with the table and all the kids and all the in-laws. And we want that vision so hard that in no way did we live the life to create that vision. We won't ever have that vision if we aren't intentional about why that's the vision we want. What are the goals? What are the action steps? That'll never be our vision. It will be out of reach forever and ever and always. It's a great goal. But why? What is so special about this goal? Talk about it. What's the intention? Okay, and then what were to happen if for whatever reason that's not how it looks? Maybe we can't have another kid. Maybe one of us does not think it's the best decision for the collective whole of the family. We so run our lives without intention. It slightly drives me a little bit crazy when I talk to people. And I have been that way my whole life too. I'm like, oh, just do it. I'll figure it out. I'm like, why? And the why is usually because I want to. Because that's what I want. But if I can go, okay, it's what I want. Why do I want that? What am I going to feel when I get that? Is there alternatives to it then? I have to be willing to look at that. And not just because that's what I want. Because that's what I want doesn't create that end picture that we're thinking about. So intentionality is so huge, and we don't do any of it. I mean, we can kind of put it in the framework of keeping up with the Joneses, and so we're just going and going and going. But often we're just keeping up with the humanity. I think it was Jamie Lee Curtis wrote a book about it, and it was the human race. Even just the word, it's we're on this race. We're racing to this end point and not knowing why or where we're going or what's at the end of it. And just because everyone else is doing it and we want to get there faster. So I want you to spend some time and almost on anything. Well, what's the intention? Because then maybe we can be more flexible and creative and opening up space for how we can get to that place. And we can't do any of that if we're not putting in any effort or energy. How many of us save up our energy for all the other people in our life except for our partner? We save it all day, and we have coworkers, or we have clients, or we have employers or employees. Some of us work in industries where we have to deal with humankind unkindness. And we have to be, I understand. We have to eat crow, as they say. Smile through the pain. And then we come home, and then we have kids, if we have kids, that they need some patience. We have a little bit. They start whining. And then guess how much we have left for our partner? How much energy we have in the reserve? Nothing. We've saved nothing. I'm here. Again, you're welcome. No. We can give our relationship and our partner more than we can give our work. And we should give our relationship and our partner more than we give our work, more than we give these corporations and these employers who do not care about you. You're a number. Yet we will sacrifice it all. And that's what I really want you to take a hard look at. Do I not have the energy and effort to give my marriage because I'm putting it into other places? And is that appropriate? Again, what's the intention? Am I doing that so that we can not have to work in the next 5 years? So I have to work crazy hard and we're both on board with this. Okay. That's usually not the case. And we're usually not talking about that. So, energy, effort shows that we care, that the relationship is a priority, that even though I have a lot of other things to do, making sure that you feel special and loved and cared for by me, because that's what I said I was going to do. Even when it's hard, even if I don't totally like you today, I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to be supportive. I'm still going to put energy in. I'm still going to put effort in, which means I'm not going to be lazy in how I communicate. And I'm not just going to throw out words like that. I'm going to think about it. What am I feeling? I'm going to recognize when he says something that really ugh. And I'm going to own that. I'm going to acknowledge that's what I'm feeling instead of being that feeling. That takes effort. That takes me recognizing I need to find the tool, I need to access it, and I need to use it. That takes energy and that takes effort. And when I do that, I am proving to my partner that this is important, that our relationship staying on a positive track and a place that we each feel safe is so important to me that I am going to put in that effort. I am going to think about, how can I say this in a way that is going to land most effectively with you? How am I going to validate your perspective and your feelings, even though I'm tired and I felt like everyone was an asshole today? And I don't want to. I'm still going to pull out that effort because that matters. That effort and that energy and my intention behind why I'm going to do that matters, is important, and is what makes the marriage the marriage. We cannot have a marriage that is fun and connecting and vulnerable and intimate if we're not putting in any energy or effort. I mean, one person can hold that afloat for a minute, and then that's fuck that. I'm gonna be the only one. I'm all relaxed too over here in this roommate syndrome land. This looks good. Two people have to put in the energy and effort. Two people have to talk about the intention behind the decisions that are being made for the shared joint life that you have. Otherwise, we're just running in that human race to get to the end. And as we get to the end, we're like, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be, because in no way did we create that life along the way. We got there, we feel just as empty and just as shitty and just as sad and just as lonely as we did before. And then we're pissed. Wait, I thought if I did all the right things and we did all, and we just moved, and then we got here, then everything. No, that's not how it works, unfortunately. Every day, your marriage requires you to put in some level of effort. I asked somebody today, it aged me a bit, but when I was working on an apartment community, there was a store in the mall, and it was called Franklin Covey, and they sold these really expensive and like really cool planners. And of course, anything that then is like, ooh, this is expensive and only the coolest people get it, I'm like, I want one, I get one. And they were great. And part of like, they had whole classes before like internet was super like master class-ish, on how to really make these planners work for you. And I've been saying this to a few clients here and there, of finding some sort of planner where you have to get real specific. You know, it might look like I need to write down the things for myself. So I need to make sure that I shower. I shower quite regularly. I need to make sure I eat. That is something I will often not do, because I'm like, I don't want to make it. I'll make my kids stuff all day long, but make myself something. So I would probably need to write that down. And then maybe I need to go write down, plan a date for Charlie and me and ask him out. Or it might look like picking up his favorite treat on Friday when he comes home from work. So those are two things I'm going to do to show my partner I love him, right? And I'm going to meditate, because that helps me with my reaction. And I'm going to write these things down, and then I'm going to make sure that I look at this list, because budgets doesn't work if we don't follow it, and lists don't matter if we don't look at them. So there's an element of, okay, if I'm not putting energy, effort, and being intentional, well, then I got to plan. I got to think about this, right? And that's why I'm very big on, having some sort of plan, which is going to be our next lesson. But I really want you to think about, I think today is another free write of where you put in energy and effort, where you could do more, right? Same thing with intentionality. Just really think about how little and how little we give our relationships in comparison to how much we might give in other areas of our life, which could be work, could be parenting, could be socially, right? So spend time there. This is all about gaining awareness so that we can do better, be better, show up better. All right, guys. Good night.